out and doing business development for a charity, because that, like funding bids and things like that, is kind of not what I do. But looking at how when you've got 3 boards of governors, you've got 3 sets of management staff, you've got 4 premises, and you're going to form those together. How do you do that? How do you get the best people on board? How do you select the best members? How do you then decide which building you're going to relocate into? Working through all of those kinds of things.
Before your phone rings.
What's your unique selling point? How would you get that across to
Good question.
The third sector? I know a lot about the third sector, so I'll tell you why later.
I haven't come across anybody else who's working specifically in organisation development with the third sector.
But what is your unique selling point? What makes you different from anybody else?
The fact that I'm doing it at the moment. I'm not
Doing what?
Doing the organisation development with third sector organisations. I'm offering a service to third sector organisations.
As somebody who deals with third sector, that would not satisfy me whatsoever.
No, it doesn't. This is the difficulty I have in marketing and selling of what I do.
You have to tell people, you have to tell people who you are, what you do, and what benefit they're going to get from your service. Otherwise, they're not.
Which would be specific to that organisation.
Yeah.
Following on from introducing myself and saying I'm a change management organisation management consultant, and then finding out what their challenges are, so that then when my USP would be that whatever I'm saying to the person is, oh, you're going to be relocating, right? Well, I've done a lot of that. This is.
So the strapline is, I help you solve your problem.
Is there a
You need to
strapline?
write this down, but no, not a very good one.
Yeah, because it's not clear from organised chaos, is it?
No.
Let's just park that. There's another question from this table.
Wasn't a question. What if we're brainstorming, what I would suggest that we do is in each area is an economic development team, and I would align myself to people who go out.
Can you hear that?
Sorry, and I would go out and I would align myself to people who go out and meet other businesses and become part of that toolkit. And every local authority has an economic development team who can help you do that.
We'll talk to her later.
Yeah. There's quite a few organisations that deal specifically with the third sector in Doncaster, and why not offer a free workshop to the organisation? Because the workshop, yes, it would cost you a couple of hours of your time to do the workshop, but you might get the leads from there and word of mouth and things like that, and that's how.
I think where you're going is that, to me, that looks like scattergun marketing. That's throwing a load of mud at the wall and hope some of it sticks.
A lot of it still.
It sticks in Doncaster.
It does. It does stick.
But it's still scattergun. That's not targeted. That is getting out there, doing as many hours as you can. John?
Sorry.
That's doing as many hours as you can, hoping that you get in front of enough people, and one of them is relevant. Work out what your strengths are. Just a minute, Parsley. And I think that's what networking does. It's a very broad approach. LinkedIn is a very broad approach. I mean, businesses that are in trouble might be seeing an insolvency practitioner. So I would have said, I'm going to talk about brochures later. I don't think anything is as good as saying, can I have half an hour of your time? Go get all the IPs within 30 miles of you, and go and see them and take some cream cakes. Ian will put the coffee on, and you talk about what you do, because you need to talk to people who are all the time, 24/7, talking to businesses that are in trouble. And they're in trouble because they've got organised chaos, disorganised chaos. So why not find the people who deal with that all the time? And I think you keep mentioning charities a lot. They don't have lots of businesses have got exactly that problem.
It just seemed to be a sector that I've ended up working in and then been referred to within.
Yes, and that's the
it kind of
result.
opened itself up to me from the first couple of opportunities that I followed.
You might get to work, get better quality work by planning your attack much more strategically. John?
I've just said from this table, why are you restricting yourself to the not-for-profit unit charity end? because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's the sector that earns the least money for kids.
Well, I've tighter budgets.
The tighter budgets.
It wasn't necessarily a deliberate strategy. It was following it, like what we might call mining a scene. Something presented itself,
I'll do that,
and
so
that passed me on to something else, which passed me on to something else. And you do, I think, that's something that I have done, is followed that instead of sitting back and planning
You
the
probably head
whole.
up the service a little bit.
Yeah, the whole marketing strategy is just not something I'd really thought of. I thought, well, I'm going to bring my skills and I'm going to go do this, that, and the other. And
What
you
was
have
said
to-
about talking to these guys, the IT guys? I think that's a fantastic idea for what skill set you offer. Because you're not going to just speak to your charity bots, you're going to speak to people that actually pay.
These guys will oversee the administration and insolvency, all that sort of thing. But they also need people who are experts in what we call turnaround services.
I consider it a unique selling point. And I know we've talked about charities then, but I think one of the things is you could emphasise your independence from all those organisations you're working for. But there's a lot of cultural tension, particularly between charities even still working in the same sector. And that doesn't seem to be a real time.
Two more then, Andy.
Have you got case studies and examples of
We've got a
what
couple now that some of this stuff takes a long time to come to fruition, particularly if it's mergers and things like that, and relocation.
Because a lot of times people don't know how difficult things are. I think actually, yeah, we can manage ourselves, we can get through. My case study can actually highlight issues that people haven't thought of, it's where they've not managed to correct it themselves. And you can highlight in advance what most people experience so they call you in sooner.
Otherwise they call you into troubleshoot when it's gone.
Too late.
Yeah.
It's too late.
I think it's a really good idea, and I think it's, from the marketing perspective, also there you have a gap. If you're actually targeting charities and the not-for-profit organizations, but I think it's key that you understand this sector. That you understand that there's a variety of different groups working in different directions, and that you understand their problems. Some of them are common across the whole of the spectrum. Some of them are actually very direct to the areas where we're working in, whether we're a community charity or whether we're working as wildlife.
Trustee of two very different charities. So
And not only
from
that,
the other side.
we both went to Hamilton University. Well, she still does.
Could be a lifelong
You did the
learner.
masters as well, didn't you?
Yeah, could be a lifelong learner.
I didn't. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rachel. Seriously, good Lord, was that useful?
Terrifying.
Yeah, working on your business is a bit terrifying. But, I think clearly there is a very random marketing policy, and it's about networking. I have a very dim view of networking, I'll come on to that, but it works for some, it doesn't work for a lot. I'll explain why. But I think that is something that you could structure, have a plan, strategic plan to grow quite quickly. So give yourself 18 months to fill that other 30%. Because let's face it, work creates work, doesn't it? Once you've worked with one company, people talk about you and off we go. Anybody else want to have a thrash at that? Well, you can do that with Royston Parking anyway. Don't want to sell too many of those, do we? Not here. Let's just brainstorm a plumber. Okay, we all know what a plumber does. I'm just picking examples. Picking a plumber, what would you expect? Most plumbers don't even have a website. There's basic stuff that you can achieve. Having photos of the jobs, testimonials, guarantee that you'll turn up on time, clean up on time for the price that you quoted, etc., etc. But this particular one, this was a plumber of mine who said, this is what I do, Russell. Wherever he is working, he has an A-board outside the house, something along those lines. That is masterclass. And on building sites, there's always the placard that you see the builder, but there's a one-man band who's busy, not being able, he's under the sink, can't answer the phone. That's because it's always, you're always thinking about things in the shower or on the way to work or from work. And I must get that. By the time you get to the cold face, you forget to ring the plumber, don't you? And you come home, the shower's not working again, and you forget. And what can you do, simple, to grow your business? We'll come on to Facebook advertising in a bit. Right? Guarantees. You've all got websites. You've all got your photos on About Us. You've all got guarantees, I'm sure. We guarantee this, that, and the other. Money back guarantees. Take the risk out of the buying decision from your customers. And I'll come on to it here later. Don't give a 7-day guarantee or whatever, because it was actually Nigel Bottrell was talking about it. He's a motivational speaker, and he has all these online assets and the CDs and stuff that you give away and you go away. And he used to give a 7-day money back guarantee. Because what he realised, when you send somebody 20 CDs, you can't like it on holiday, or they never get to it. They say, I'm never going to get to it. So they send it back. So what he's learned, 6 months, it gives them 6 months. And then they forget, And the other thing, Rachel, is that by the time to have the time to listen to 3 and they're good, I think, actually, I'll keep it. And actually, there's a mutual obligation there. It's that if you've kept it for 6 months, it doesn't feel right sending it back after 6 months, does it? Tesco's are brilliant at it. You go and get some Madras sauce, you cover it, and you put the rice on, and you get the Madras sauce, and you can use all of it. Enjoy it, and you take it back and say, too hot, didn't like it. We'll change it, Mr. Payne, no problem at all. You take your own dress. We're only 4th Madras that you take back. They'll stop you coming, so we'll just go on if you don't shop here anymore. But they will have a complete risk-free. You can try, it takes the risk out of the buying process.
Back to that, I would say that the cost of that Madras sauce is just irrelevant in terms of
I can never understand. I think on my feet a bit. I can never understand. When you go and buy some tomatoes, and you buy a big thing of tomatoes that cost 64p or 69p, I think, how on earth do they get 6 tomatoes from the field, picked, packed, put onto a shelf, electricity insurance, and they manage to make a profit out of that? I never quite get, like wine that comes from Australia that you can buy for £3.99. How do they get a bottle of wine from Australia shipped at £3.99? I just don't understand how the world works, but it does. I've got off guarantees, isn't it? But what? I go onto your website, and I'm not going to go through all 40 of them. Have a look at it, and what are you telling your customers that is so different from what is somebody else in your industry? I mean, there's nobody else in your industry at all sorts, I know that. Niche, isn't it? So you want to get on with it, while it still is niche. Maybe there's an opportunity. Pricing. Can I talk about pricing? I would love to talk all day about pricing. The prospect that sits in front of us is making no money. They've got the turnover, they've got the mortgage, they've got the life insurance, they've got the pension, they've got the kids to pay for. They've got the turnover, but at the bottom of the line, at the end of the week, there was too much month at the end of the pay slip or pay packet or whatever they call it. There's no money left. And that is not, they are the best businesses to work for, to work on. Because if you've got the turnover, people are already buying from you. It's perfect. That's just a little tweaking of this, tweaking of that to turn it into more profit. That's why these guys will guarantee that they can grow your business. Of course, it's not just It might be getting a better website. It might be doing some internet marketing. It might be doing some Google ads or Facebook advertising. It might be putting your price up a little bit. Never ever is the market as sensitive as the business owner thinks it is. And don't say that it is without having tested it. And your price is up to you. You know, unless it's a £1 postage stamp, generally the price is up to you. You decide what you take your product to market for. And that can change with the season. Look at the music. What a great time just to eat the prices of things. All these trees falling down. Dare I ask? What? You lot want to ask, don't you? No. Are they going up during storms? That's a no.
Well, it depends on the complexity of
the tree,
on what type of equipment you need to use and the danger level. Because in storm weather, you have to put extra safety equipment in place to be able to remove the tree. So it all depends on what equipment is required. In normal circumstances, we have a set rate for certain types of trees. However, in storm circumstances, you've got to look at what the other factors are, like has the tree caused damage to other buildings? Have you got to shore that building up?
Okay, I get that, but is there a different price? Say I'm a farmer living out in the country and the tree is blocking my road.
Yeah, you would actually. You don't really get far.
I don't want feedback, we'll do it ourselves. Alright, he's not a farmer, he's a graphic designer that lives in the country, okay? That's cool. Is there a different price between, if I ring you, see, and say, can you come and take this tree? My advice would be to you, do you want us to come today or within 7 days? Because I would say there's a great opportunity to have a today price and a 7-day price. There isn't, is there? The difference in those prices.
There isn't a difference in the prices, except we do have a 24-hour call out, and if we call out during the night, then yes, we do hike the price.
Okay, perfect. I've trapped you now. What is the premium on your 24-hour call out? Is it a fixed figure?
Well, because we have to, we have to sort of look at the hours and staff who've already worked. We then have to make sure to send out the staff who are not, who have just come out already.
Without your phone.
Right, you can answer that.
Been here since 7 o'clock, bless you, haven't you? Come on. Tea and waffles. You don't answer a straight question.
Well, of course I used to be a civil servant. What do you expect?
I would, and I haven't never met before. No. I reckon if I had a close look at this business, which is obviously very busy at the moment, you've got a fantastic opportunity to differentiate your price at a different time of day, a different call out, a different area, miles from the office. And I'm not asking you, because you won't give me a straight answer, I think there's a great business where you could work on your, John's agreeing with me, so I've got somebody in the room who can hear us. I think you could have 50 or 60 different prices, depending on the time of the day, the type of the weather, and so on and so on. Because if I could just frame that, when I was 50, 4 years ago, we had a toilet that was blocked, and I had 150 people coming to a party at tea time that night. And I rang, I'll name them Drainwise, National Drain Cleaners, can't remember what their strap line was, local officers. Well, local officers, yeah. Put me off now. And they said, I said, right, you need to come and, there's a blockage in the pavement, can you come and clean it, send some people out to clear the drain, because it stinks of waste, put it politely. I said, yes, do you want us to come within the hour or tomorrow? Well, you knew where I was, I had 150 people coming in 3 hours. And they said, well, there's two prices. I get that. And I'm not lying, the price to come tomorrow was £49 plus VAT. Okay? What do you think the price was to come with it? It was -7 degrees on the 1st of January. It was freezing. It was 5 o'clock at night, dark.
I bet it was at least 3 times the price.
Exactly. What an opportunity they missed out. It was £69 plus VAT.
Never.
I promise you.
Honestly.
I promise you. I said, what are you waiting for? Get yourself here. What an opportunity they have missed out. They have not tested it. You know, if you've got a blocked drain, it's causing you grief at home. I would have said 150 quid. Well, there was no, it was priceless. They haven't tested. That was a franchise operation. I guess if you've got a franchise, I'm sure you've got differentiation ability on price, I'm sure. But I would have thought yours would be an exciting prospect to have a look at the price. Lynn, talk to somebody. Because people want it now. But you're not going to get storms forever, every day. So you've got to make sure you've got a storm price.
Yeah.
Do you want to make myself clear? And you can all have different prices. It's not immoral.
No,
It's
it's not.
supply and demand.
Well, we have different prices depending on whether it's commercial, 2 bed hours, 3 bed hours, 4
Yeah.
bed hours. We give a price based on going to the actual property
Yeah.
and looking what needs doing.
So you don't price until you get there.
Now,
Anyway, doing it. Because,
We don't price them out.
are you going to have a look
You
first?
have to. You have to.
Do you? Right.
Well, because you've got work.
It might be a twig.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Is it the elevator pitch coming up?
No, it's, I got a job Christmas Eve, guy phoned up from control down the rail, he said, well, we need some generator boxes, as lads can't work on Christmas Day, because the generators allow, he said, name your price, just do it invoice, and I charge him £1,000 a day.
How did it feel? Was it happy?
Well, £1,600 he was happy, he got his lads were on £1,000 a day each anyway, so.
Yeah. So it's a ridiculous price. Well, let's go to that extreme. Chris, it was a ridiculous price, and they were happy.
Well, he meant to stay, tell them that. His lad on £1,000 a day, so I went, alright, well, that's £1,000 a day then.
You know,